I've been crying at everything lately. Books, films, reels, shorts, random posts on the internet, happy things, sad things, stories about old dogs, stories about new babies, stories about people finding each other, stories about people losing each other. It doesn't matter. I've been emotional as And the strange thing is, for a while I thought that meant something was wrong. Maybe I was becoming too sensitive, too soft, too vulnerable. But recently I've started wondering whether I've got it backwards. Because stay with me till the end and I'll explain why vulnerability might actually be one of the most valuable things a human can possess. Part 1. Some days are heavier than others. Sometimes getting out of bed is the hard part. Sometimes the shower feels like a triathlon. Sometimes answering a text message feels like an administrative task. Sometimes life isn't dramatic. It's just heavy. Not enough to stop you functioning. Not enough for people to notice. Just enough to make everything require a little more effort than it should. And I think more people feel like that than we're willing to admit. Because we've built a culture that celebrates performance. What we show, what people can see. Not honesty, strength. Not sensitivity, achievement. Not feeling. Part 2. The problem with always being strong. Somewhere along the way we started confusing strength with emotional numbness. As though resilience means never crying and never struggling, never doubting and never feeling overwhelmed. But when you look around, the moments that move us the most are almost always vulnerable ones. A father holding his child, or an old couple holding hands, or someone returning from service. A goodbye, a reunion, a confession, a forgiveness. A person finally admitting they need help. The moments that stay with us are rarely the polished ones. They're just the honest ones. Part 3. The cracks let the light in. There's an old idea that cracks are not flaws, they're openings. The places where light gets in. The places where life gets in. It reminds me of Kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold. Instead of hiding the cracks, they highlight them. The break becomes part of the story, part of the beauty, part of the value. And maybe vulnerability works the same way. Because if nothing can hurt you, nothing can move you either. If you never risk embarrassment, you never experience genuine connection. If you never risk heartbreak, you never experience real love. If you never risk failure, you will never discover what you're capable of. The things that make us vulnerable are often the exact same things that make life meaningful. Part 4. The Great Play. Sometimes I'm with Alan Watts and I think life is this kind of cosmic theatre. A great play, a universal game. And somewhere along the way many of us forgot that we're not supposed to be acting. We're not here to deliver flawless lines. We're not here to convince everyone that we've got it all figured out. And the strange beauty of the drama is that it's real. The uncertainty, it's real. The joy, it's real. The heartbreak is real. And honest vulnerability is what allows us to participate in this great game so fully. Because the moment we start pretending, we step away from the experience itself. We trade connection for image. We trade presence for performance. But when somebody finally drops the mask, when they admit that they're scared, admit that they're confused or hopeful or grieving or excited or in love, something changes and the scene becomes alive. The audience lean in, not because they're impressed, but because they recognize themselves. In the great play of life, authenticity is what makes the story worth watching. Part 5. The people we remember. Think about the people you've loved the most, the people who've changed your life, the people who left a mark. Were they perfect? Probably not. Were they invincible? Definitely not. What made them memorable wasn't their perfection. It was their humanity, It was a teacher who cared, or a friend that listened, somebody who just randomly showed up, the person who admitted that they didn't have all the answers. We remember people who allowed themselves to be real. Part 6. Vulnerable and valuable. And maybe that's the thing I've been learning recently. Maybe vulnerability isn't the opposite of value. Maybe vulnerability creates value. Because empathy comes from feeling. Compassion comes from feeling. Connection comes from feeling. Art comes from feeling. Love comes from feeling. And all of those things require vulnerability. The ability to be affected. The ability to care. The ability to be moved. The ability to let something touch your heart. Final takeaway. So if you've been feeling emotional lately, if you've been carrying more than usual, if you've been finding yourself crying at stories, songs, films, books, moments that never used to affect you, maybe don't rush to fix it. Maybe don't immediately label it as weakness. Maybe it's evidence that you're still connected, that you're still human, that you're still capable of being moved by the world. And in a world that is increasingly rewarding detachment, that might be one of the most valuable things you can protect. Because the things that make us vulnerable are often the same things that make us beautiful. And the things that make us beautiful are usually the things that create the greatest impact. As always, remember you've got this. We're trying to make impact beautiful. It's one conversation, one interaction, one step, one person, one journey at a time. Join the mission. And I believe in you. If these videos help you slow down, reflect, or even just see things a little bit different, I've started building more resources around all of these ideas. My short ebook, Making Impact Beautiful, is available in the link below. It explores our emotional impact and self-reflection and just the ways humans shape each other without even really meaning to. And if you want to support the channel, it's one of the easiest ways to do so. But either way, thanks for being here.